Welcome to the channel. Today we are going to explore the movie 28 Years Later. Stay tuned as we dive into a dark and intense survival story filled with fear, mystery, and emotional twists as humanity struggles to survive in a world overrun by infection. The movie opens with a young boy named Jamie and his sisters watching cartoons inside their home, while outside, chaos slowly builds as distant screams and panic spread through the streets. Curiosity takes over Jamie as the noise grows louder, and before anyone can react, infected zombies violently break into the house, turning everyone into monsters except him. Terrified and alone, Jamie escapes and runs straight to his father's church, where he warns him that the entire area has fallen to the infection. His father tries to calm him, insisting that everything will be fine, and gives Jamie a chain as a final comfort before sending him away. But the situation worsens as his father is also overtaken by the infection, forcing Jamie to flee into an unknown, destroyed world. 28 years later, a boy named Spike wakes up and prepares for an important day. He lives on a remote island where the last survivors of the outbreak have built a fragile life. The island is only connected to the mainland through a narrow path that appears during low tide. At breakfast, Spike sits with his father Jamie, now grown older and hardened by survival, while his sick mother Issa struggles with disturbing dreams upstairs. Jamie goes to check on her, and soon Spike joins them, but Issa becomes emotional and angry when she learns Spike is not going to school. Jamie reveals that he and Spike are preparing to travel to the mainland, which only makes Issa more distressed, forcing them both to leave her room. Before they go, Spike tries to comfort her. Later, Jamie and Spike begin their journey, with the entire island watching and cheering Spike on for his bravery. At the island gate, a woman named Jenny warns Spike about the dangers of the mainland, showing him a wall filled with the names of those who never returned. She explains that rescue teams can only be sent if travelers get lost, but Spike still chooses to go forward. Jamie reminds him they only have 4 hours before the tide rises again and cuts them off. Together, they step onto the mainland for the first time. As they move deeper inland, Spike is overwhelmed by the vast, empty world around him. The silence feels unnatural. They enter a dense jungle where they spot a crawling zombie feeding on insects. Jamie instructs Spike to shoot it with his bow, and Spike successfully lands a kill shot to the neck, but the sound immediately attracts more infected. A tense fight breaks out as Jamie quickly eliminates the approaching zombies before they can surround them. They eventually reach Jamie's old house, where the atmosphere turns even darker. Inside, they discover a human body hanging upside down, brutally displayed. Spike is shaken and questions what happened, but Jamie coldly suggests it is likely punishment, warning him that strange and dangerous survivors now roam the mainland. He then orders Spike to kill the body, and after a moment of hesitation, Spike forces himself to do it. They leave the house in silence. Continuing their journey, they find a dead animal torn apart in a horrifying way, signaling something far more dangerous is nearby. Jamie immediately suspects the presence of an alpha, a stronger and more intelligent type of infected. Realizing the growing threat, they quickly move away, but soon Jamie spots a group of zombies ahead, led by the alpha. The chase continues as Jamie immediately grabs Spike and pulls him into a desperate run through the ruins. The infected close in fast, forcing them into a brutal fight where they manage to take down several of them, but the danger never fully disappears. Exhausted and low on resources, they eventually find shelter inside an abandoned old house, locking themselves in and hoping for a moment of safety. That evening, Jamie sits with Spike and reveals the truth about the alpha infected. He explains that alphas are not like normal zombies, they are far stronger, more intelligent, and far more difficult to kill. He also admits that they cannot fight properly right now because they have run out of arrows, leaving them with no choice but to stay alert and wait for an opportunity. Soon after, the ground begins to shake as a herd of large animals passes nearby, and Jamie quickly realizes the structure is becoming unstable. Without wasting time, he wakes Spike and they escape just before the house collapses behind them. They continue their journey back toward the island, eventually reaching the narrow stretch of beach that connects the mainland to their home. The tide is low, and they begin crossing carefully, unaware that the alpha is silently watching them from a distance. As they move forward, an uneasy feeling grows stronger, and soon they hear movement behind them. The alpha has returned, closing the gap rapidly. Panic sets in as they sprint toward the gate, fighting against time and exhaustion. Just when the alpha is about to reach them, a massive fire arrow is launched from the island gate, striking the creature and killing it instantly. Jamie and Spike narrowly escape and make it back to safety. That night, the entire island celebrates Spike's survival and bravery with a large gathering. However, the mood shifts for Spike when he notices Jamie kissing another woman. Shocked and hurt, Spike believes his father is betraying his seriously ill mother Issa. Unable to process what he saw, He leaves the celebration and heads home alone. When Spike arrives, he finds an old man resting on the couch inside their home. The man wakes up, surprised to see Spike back so early, and asks him what he witnessed on the mainland. Spike calmly responds with only a few words: fire and a vast forest. The mention of fire immediately triggers something in the old man's memory, and he recalls the name Dr. Kelson. Spike then reveals what Jamie told him, that there are no doctors left anymore and no one can treat his mother's condition. Hearing this, Spike begins to question everything Jamie has told him, slowly starting to doubt whether his father has been honest with him. The old man briefly mentions that Dr. Kelson is a strange man, then quietly leaves without explaining further. Spike is left unsettled by the warning and later goes to sleep beside his sick mother, Issa, holding on to the uneasy thoughts from the day. The next morning, Jamie returns home, and Spike immediately confronts him about the doctor. Jamie finally reveals a dark story from before Spike was born. He says that while walking through a forest years ago, they discovered thousands of dead bodies, and a man named Dr. Kelson was seen dragging them into a burning fire. After that incident, everyone avoided him, and no one ever dared to go near him again. Spike then asks the truth about his mother's condition, directly questioning if she is dying. Jamie denies it and insists she is not, but Spike can clearly sense that his father is hiding something. He then brings up the woman Jamie was seen kissing. Hearing this, Jamie loses control and hits Spike. Shocked and hurt, Spike runs to his mother and holds her tightly. When Jamie tries to approach, Spike pushes him away and tells him to stay away from them. Unable to respond, Jamie leaves the house in anger and frustration. Sometime later, Spike creates a small fire near the outpost by the gate. As the guards rush to investigate, Spike takes advantage of the distraction and quietly escapes with his mother onto the mainland. While walking, Spike tells Issa that something is seriously wrong with her and that they are going north to find a doctor who may still be alive. After traveling for hours, they reach an abandoned church and decide to rest there for the night. While they sleep, a large zombie suddenly attacks Spike, but Issa unexpectedly wakes up and manages to fight it off. The next morning, however, she has no memory of what happened. They continue their journey deeper into the mainland. At the same time, elsewhere on the mainland, a group of soldiers is ambushed by zombies. Some are bitten in turn, causing chaos within the unit. A few manage to escape, but the Alpha appears and strikes again, slaughtering more of them until only one soldier survives and flees. Meanwhile, Spike and Issa move through open fields when Spike spots a zombie approaching them. He quickly kills it, but more infected begin to emerge, forcing them to run. They take shelter inside an abandoned fuel station, unaware that highly flammable gas is leaking inside. The zombies follow them and begin to surround the building. Just as the situation becomes critical, a soldier arrives and eliminates the infected outside, saving them at the last moment. He introduces himself as Eric, a soldier from Scotland, and explains that his boat sank, leaving him stranded in the area. Eric helps by carrying Issa and asks where they are headed. Spike points toward a distant fire and says there is a doctor living there. After walking for a while, Spike, Issa, and Eric stop to rest. During the silence, Issa suddenly begins acting unusually calm and stable, then quietly walks away toward the direction of the distant fire. Confused, Spike and Eric immediately follow her. As they move deeper into the area, they hear a disturbing zombie scream echoing through the surroundings and rush toward the sound. There, they discover a horrifying scene: a pregnant infected woman in severe pain. Shockingly, Issa is able to calm her instead of panicking. Moments later, the infected woman gives birth to a baby, breaking the expected cycle of infection. But before they can process what just happened, the Alpha suddenly appears and brutally kills Eric by ripping off his head. It then turns its attention toward Spike and Issa. Just in time, Dr. Kelson arrives and uses a sedative dart to paralyze the Alpha, saving them. He explains that he protects himself from infection by applying iodine on his skin. He then takes Spike and Issa to his hidden lab, where Spike is shown disturbing collections of corpses and skull models used for research. The doctor even gives Spike Eric's skull and tells him to choose a place on the wall to place it. Kelson then questions Spike about the baby, and Spike explains that it was born from an infected woman, yet it is not a zombie. After that, Spike reveals the real reason for their journey: Issa's illness. The doctor examines Issa and reveals that she has cancer. Spike breaks down in panic, but Issa calmly comforts him. In a sudden twist, while Spike is distracted, Kelson shoots Issa with a poison dart, killing her instantly. However, it is revealed that Issa and Kelson had planned this together to end her suffering peacefully. Before leaving, Kelson hands the newborn baby to Spike. Sometime later, Spike places Issa's skull at the very top of the memorial wall as a tribute to her memory. Suddenly, the Alpha reappears, attacking them once again. Kelson tries to hide, but the Alpha grabs him and attempts to kill him. In the chaos, Spike grabs a poison dart and drives it into the Alpha, finally killing the creature. After everything ends, Dr. Kelson tells Spike to return home and take care of the baby, marking the end of their journey on the mainland. 28 days later, Spike sends a letter back to the island along with the baby. In the message, he explains that he finally found the doctor, who turned out to be a kind man. He also reveals that the baby is not infected, but Issa is gone. When Jamie reads the letter, he is overwhelmed with emotion and immediately tries to leave the island to reach Spike. However, the high tide has already risen, blocking the only path to the mainland, leaving him trapped and helpless. Back on the mainland, Spike is attacked again by a group of zombies, but he manages to fight them off. Just when the situation looks dangerous again, a new group of survivors arrives and helps him. Their leader steps forward and introduces himself. "My name is Jimmy." That is the end of the movie. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for more videos. Thanks for watching.